Alright, so today I'm going to be playing the 1 billion units experimental mapping challenge from runthinkshootlive.com. The aim of this challenge was to make a map that was 1024 units by 1024 units by 1024 units. So basically it limited the space and required the mapper to get as much gameplay from that area that they've created, whether it be combat, puzzles, anything like that. So it's actually quite a useful challenge, as making good use of space is something I go on and on and on about all the time. So I think this was released on the 11th of February. I did try recording this, when it came out, but things did not go to plan. So we're going to play through the entries. I have played most of them. There are a few I haven't played towards the end, or haven't played in great depth. So here we go. Liftout. Actually, I can't remember how long they had to do it. It was a few days. It was just a few days, so it's not like they had ages.
Damn it, not again. We just lost Gordon.
Alright, so the sense I'm getting is that we've crawled through this vent and Alex is not too happy. So we've kind of got a fairly simple premise for this map, which is actually really good for this kind of contest. It's not expected that you'd have something like this, and it's most welcome. Okay, so yeah, this one confused me at first. But you can see that there's a vent. This thing makes a noise. It draws the player's attention to the vent. And also there is a valve here, or whatever you call it. So we'll just break these boards that are placed there for us to do, to interact with the map. It's very well known that these boxes tend to do stuff. I mean, there is another model you can use where it's off the wall to show you can't. It's kind of like it's exploded or something. So that's what you would use if you couldn't interact. Or, there's other various things you can do for that. Okay, so... Oh. A bit of a surprise zombie attack there, which I completely forgot about. I can't remember if we go through here, or if we go down. Oh, we'll try and go this way. Oh. Oh yeah, this ladder didn't quite work. I know we can clearly see there's a wooden board here. We've kind of been taught back there when I broke the boards what these what wooden boards do. So maybe if you hadn't played Half-Life 2, then you would have a good sense of that. Anyway, down we go. So it's quite good how it's all on different tiers, different levels of the elevator. Yeah, here we go. So we did put that thing in the lift/elevator, so we can hoist the lift back up. And this metal grate thing on our left here is just to show us what we're doing, because it is quite far away, and it's actually quite a smart thing to have put there. Obviously, a lot of thought has been put into this map. Although it is dreadfully slow. Although, it's an elevator, so that's exactly what you'd expect. And then it stopped. And I think that's us fine. So we can head back up here, and it's kind of looping round. I think we can actually see Alex over there, which is, is another thing, another I guess you'd just say something that would show what you're doing. So here we are. We have found the vent eventually. And we heard the Combine queue, which kind of shows that they're on their way. It was just 2 of them. Obviously, trying to get Combine combat in such a small space is difficult. It can be done and it can be made really fun. But I think this map is more focused on getting you around, you know, around the map. It's more of a navigatory map rather than a, you know, shoot 'em up map. And then there we go.
You might have forgotten about me. Okay, let's go.
Great, let's go. So, as I just said, that map was more navigatory. It was more about navigating it, which is fine actually. It was much more fun than a map that drops a ton of enemies in at you and just makes you fight them. Which, there's some of those maps coming up. And I do like the fact that it was never a simple route to take. It was never like just walk down a corridor and then walk down another corridor. It was always, well, you've got to go through this vent, drop the elevator, go through that vent, you know, go up this elevator, this different elevator. So overall, that was quite a stable entry, I would say. I don't think it's my favourite, but it's definitely a good solid entry, and especially with the whole Alex, I guess you'll call it a plotline, although it's a plotline on the lowest level. It was still very well done. So entry number 2 is called Hard Yard. I think this one really annoyed me. Yeah, because it's snipers. I mean, snipers just annoy me in general. So you saw there that was a teaching mechanic, which is always good to do when there's a Combine sniper around. Instead of you just running out and getting your head taken off, which is kind of unfair on you because you didn't know it was there. You can put an enemy in its way and have it get killed, so you know, right. And the good thing about snipers is that you can see where they're going to fire. That's what's so beautiful about the design of Half-Life 2. So you know exactly where they're going to fire. That wasn't as good. Now, I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, I do remember. Because I went over there where that health kit was and whatnot, but that's not the way to go. It's actually not that clear. I mean, if you find this button and open it, then it becomes super clear. But we'll just get up there. Jump over there like that. Now this next bit's probably my favourite bit. Because you can see 2 Combine or Metro cops messing around or doing whatever, and as soon as you come up here, this guy starts walking down there. So it's reacting to the world, but it's reacting in such a way that, you know, it's almost just like it's playing out normally as, you know, Metro cops would. You know, they were standing and now he's walking over there. And it gives you a chance to sneak past instead of you just walking into a room and them just facing you. Now, me dropping down obviously alerted him, understandably. But I could have just ran in and taken them out, which would have been one approach, or I could have gone up there. Maybe if the mapper was keeping on going with this, they could have added more options, more things to do, more ways to take them out. If there'd been grenades over there or something, it would have made it so much better. But as it stands, that part was really good. Oh yeah, I thought they opened themselves. It's a bit weird how they don't, but So at the moment we're fine if ducking down here. As long as these guys don't push forward, we are fine. And currently as it stands, it looks like they're not. So... okay, we don't actually have that many weapons. Yeah, so you can actually cover behind here, cover behind here. My initial thought was that, well, why are you closing this thing off? But I guess if you want the player to... if you want a more focused battle, then that's fine, although... If it would be, I'd not put this combine force field here. But it's fine as it stands. So now we've got more combat in this. It's actually quite a nice building. It's got quite a nice aesthetic to it. Alright, so it's very enclosed, but it's not as if there's too many Combine soldiers. And obviously it closes off this way. It forces you out this way. Again, that guy shouldn't really be pushing. He should be standing where this guy's actually. You can see him there. But as soon as you stand up, he you know, the light blinds you. So this is something that's quite good. It's attack and defend mechanism where you're attacking the guy at the machine gun, and as soon as you've gained control of it, then you're the one using it, and it's usually done on a much bigger scale, obviously, because this is a limited space map. Of course you're gonna have to do it on a smaller scale, and that's really good. Obviously there's gnome down there. We're not currently doing that. Just completely lag that out. I mean, I don't think you need to say that on screen. As you know me, you know I hate any text on screen except for when you're starting off on Half-Life and it says like, name, Gordon Freeman, theoretical physicist. You know, that's okay for initially setting a scene for your character, but if you're telling the player what to do or giving like a full story narrative, you shouldn't probably do that. So if I'm walking down this corridor, I see this green light, maybe if you make it flash or something, then I know exactly what to do as the player. It's very clear. So there's never any need to just tell the player, do this, do this, do this. Alright, we're now on entry number 3, Lost. So this map was, well, it was unique because you get to a sign, you look over there, and then you walk over and you wait for something else to arrive. And then there's another sign. Got to go in the direction that the sign is pointing. You can see where this one's going. It's leading you through this scary graveyard. And then it points back the way, so you're a bit apprehensive about it. And there are noises and stuff going on, which are a bit weird. I mean, it does have a good feel to it, but it's not exactly what I like to play personally. But I think it's very clever how you're not quite sure what's going on. Even like this time, the second time I'm playing it, it makes me question reality, really. It was very similar to, I can't remember what Ville it was, but Blue Aces, I think, made a map where you went round and round in circles each time. and it was dark, and you kind of, it was a bit strange, but you kind of questioned it, and you were like, well, what is this? What does this mean? Not in like a philosophical sense, just in like a what's going on. So that was similar to that. Did I like it? Kind of, but not in the sense I didn't like it for its gameplay, just because it was weird, and I like weird. Entry number 4 is a text adventure game by Crassel, and Crassel, or however you pronounce his name, is a very talented mapper and a very creative guy or person. But I am not going to play it on this video, so I do apologise, but it's one that you really need to play yourself. It's not actually like a map it's not a map like a traditional map, and it does take quite a while. And there's a few things that I hate, and one's reading, and it involves a lot of it. Not just like reading in general, but just reading out loud, and it'd be quite an awkward video, or an awkward entry. So you could go and play that yourself. I do encourage that you download this mod just for that map. Now we're on arcade. Okay, arcade. This one took me a long time, and it was at this point when I was recording this video last that I just outright quit. The map has a really good concept. So you can see here, there is one of these little buggy guys. Stand on him, it says 1 out of 12. So you're basically going round the map. You're finding these guys, and you're standing on them. But it's not that simple, because there are a lot of levels, there are a lot of places that you've got to jump to get to. But it gets really tedious just looking around for these guys, and because the map is quite limited, you almost feel like you've explored anywhere, which is kind of what the thing is trying to get you to do. It's kind of trying to get you to, look in other places. So I've already messed it up. I'm probably going to cut a lot of this out when I get to a few of the later ones. Oh wait, no, it's this one. Yeah, that's kind of awkward. But yeah, when I get to some of the later ones, because not even I can remember where each one of them were. I mean, I was going to start at the bottom and get rid of all of the ones at the bottom, but to be fair, I can't remember where they all were. You see, at this area you'd think, well, there'd be one, but it's not that simple. But you see how many layers there are to this area, and you've got to go down layers to go up layers. It's a very clever setup. Like, the layout has been very well thought through, but it takes a while to fully get there. Alright, here's another one. That's 5 out of 12. There we go, 6. And you can find a lot of them just by running about, but some of them you've really got to think about how to get them. There's 7, and I think we've got to drop down here, or it says we do. Although it looks like the door to that one's... Well, we've got that one there, yeah. Alright, we did lose a lot of health there, but it'll be worth it. Just for this one, because this was the one I just couldn't get. Like, this was the last one I ever found, and it was so difficult to get, but we got that one there, so that kind of saves me doing it, although, by standing on them you get health. I need that health, but I can't remember how to get to that one. So, yeah, that's one of these dilemmas. And then there's the issue of, well, where have we been already? I mean, I remember we've been across there, but did we get them all across there? That was the question. Now, that's how you get to that one. Ah, here we are. So this one's on the lower level. It's basically... You can see the staircase immediately, but you can't actually get there. And I think the staircase is just to get you back over there. So now I think we're going to have to find a way up to the upper levels, like the top level, but I can't remember how to do that. Oh, there we go, 10. I thought that guy had been stepped on already, but apparently not. Number 11. And now we've got one more. I can hear it, but I cannot see it anywhere. There he is. He's on... I don't know what level this is. But he's blocked off there, so we're probably going to have to move a few squares along. Okay, shall we try and risk this one? Oh no, there we go, we don't need to. There we go, 12 out of 12, and now we need to get back up to the top. There we are. So that was arcade, and it was interesting, but it wasn't. It was quite tedious finding 12 of them, but the map was very well laid out. So, yeah. Again, I probably skipped a lot of that because all it was the same thing, but me just messing up. So I am sorry that I skipped it, but I didn't want just like an hour of me just running about the same place, doing the same thing over and over again. The next map is Aluminum. Or aluminium. Your suit can grapple onto blue lit ledges and sprint forever. Okay. What it's trying to say is you can do that. It's just a ladder basically. Although it's slightly buggy. So we need to somehow start the wave. I think. Do we? Or does it start by itself? There we go. Here's wave 1. So this is arena shooter. Probably one of the better ones, but just because of this concept, the buggy concept of climbing up. Like that. And then you've got 30 seconds to gather up all your things and all that kind of stuff. Now the thing is, these are just endlessly spawning pads. You can literally just stand there and camp them. You can also get up here. I don't know if you can get up onto the pipe. No, I didn't think you could. Okay, so here's wave 2. Okay, so that was wave number 2. And the thing with this is that I think it's really enjoyable for me personally. But you should really do this in your Half-Life 2 maps. If you're going to do like a arena section for whatever reason, then yeah, this probably isn't the best way now. Yeah, there we go. And also, it'd be a lot better if the player was forced to move about, because as you saw, for a lot of that, I was just standing over here. Because I've got the Magnum, so I can take out these guys. And basically not run out of ammo. They all seem to have gone. Oh no. I thought that thing would keep spawning. Obviously not. Also, these things can be broken. I just realised that. I'll try and make this wave like a lot more interesting. Right, here we go, final wave. What's it going to be? It's going to be something big. Oh, this guy's good. Oh, hello. Yeah. too late there. But all it is it's like, it doesn't really go up in difficulty, it's just a lot more enemies. So I'd say if it went up actually in difficulty, not like too hard, and that doesn't mean putting lots of enemies in, but you know, much harder enemies, then that would have been better. And if it had forced, I mean obviously that time I moved about quite a bit. We got too much ammo. But yeah, overall it was a fun experience for it. It's at the time of playing, but it's not what I would have considered a really, really good use of space. I guess with like the climbing mechanics it's good, and the verticality was also good, but yeah, otherwise yeah, it's fine. Alright, so it says red lights show spawn, kill all enemies to end wave. Press green button to start waves. Wait, this is just writing on screen but done. Now this one's really clever because look, there's that guy, he's playing video games. A bit like us now. So we go like that, we start the spawn, and it shows, yeah, as the text told us, it shows spawns here. So you can go like that, go like that. Yeah, and then that's us done. So then we can pick up the weapons, but these guys I don't think had any. But these guys do. Or, well, that guy did. So again, it's another arena one, but with less verticality. It's pretty much just flat. And it's, again, it's just pretty easy to just sweep around, getting everything. This guy's running away. He knows what's happening. And this time you hear a hunter, so you know there's going to be a hunter now. You know, it's a good clue, although it's... Well, I'll show you. I'm just going to get my weapons ready. Is that it?
Could you stop playing the freaking game? Jeez.
Yeah, the guy gets a door opened in his face and then dies. That's exactly what happened here. So that map was very creative, the fact that the guy was playing the game. Overall the level design wasn't the best. But yeah, I guess it's just the concept of that which kind of made it quite unique, and that's where the enjoyment would come from. Now we're on Infested Mines. This is one of these maps I didn't really enjoy too much. But it's It gives you the chance to place down hoppers initially, although when the waves come, it gives you very little time. Well, when I say waves, I can't remember if there were actually physical waves or if it was just a free-for-all. Also, there's these guys, but again, trying to maintain their efficiency is super difficult. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know where the best place to put these guys are, because no matter where we put them, they'll get hit somewhere. So if we try, well, maybe put him here, that'll be fine. But if we put one over there, then he'll get knocked into the here, basically, the pit. I don't have a word for it. That's what I'm trying to look for. I don't know why these two went up. Maybe they actually did explode something. There's also, you can also go down here, and the aim of this is to kill all of the zombies and Combine. I guess there's some Combine that come along until the Combine open these doors. It's much longer. I thought it was endlessly spawning, you know, wave. You see, and this is the issue, trying to maintain these guys. It's fine at the moment, I can easily just take them up like that, but later on it becomes impossible. So it's great that there's multiple entry points for the enemies, but at the same time, there's too many and they're spread out too far. And then you hear the noise, which is kind of a prompt for the fast head crab zombies. Oh, completely missed him there. You see, because I'm down here and I can hear that he's been knocked over, so I have to make my way up there. And the one thing you don't want it to turn into is a kind of turret management game where you're just like putting the turrets up again. But that's kind of either what it becomes, or you can choose just to fight them all yourselves. You see, no matter what I do, they're going to get knocked over, and it's rather tedious. And I know this was like what happened in the antline section in episode 2, but you weren't really, you know, like you could set them up at the end of each wave, and if they got taken down, then you would put them up after that kind of wave of antlines were over. But here it's just like every single, you know, moment you're putting them up. It does give you other items to use, like that, which is good. It gives you a razor blade here, to use. Okay, so now we've got the zombie soldiers. This is where it becomes, well, much tougher. Alright, so that one goes on a bit, so we'll just finish that one, but basically at the end, the combine came out of the doors and you walked in, and that was it. Okay, we are now on Zardoz. This one's a bit strange. I still don't get this one. But you have the super graviticon, or the overpowered graviticon, or whatever you want to call it. Actually, if we've got the super graviticon, we can literally just kill them like that. Which is a lot more fun, I have to say. So, basically the combat in this map's just basically full of annoying things, if you know what I mean. It's just... you know, there's some head crabs, some man hacks, and these are all very good things, but just over and over again, it becomes pretty much the same. I don't know what that lag was. I didn't save it, but I'll save it this time. Ah, now he's, he regened, but then we sorted it. So this is more an exercise of just pushing the button anywhere. It's not a lot of fun. Like, literally. I'm not entirely sure what we have to do now. I don't think I made it this far last time. Ah, okay. So we do have to completely destroy him. And that's the end. Okay. So, I mean, fighting the head crabs and the man hacks was quite tedious, and then getting that guy basically hitting his eyes, there wasn't much challenge in that. So, yeah, if it's slightly more challenging enemies and not just the annoying ones, and, you know, there's maybe some other way to defeat the bad boss, then, yeah, that would be That would be really good. Okay, now we're on Tenement 17. Okay, so here we are. We have just a pistol at the moment. I don't know why there was randomly cops in that apartment and just a zombie in this one, or whatever it is, a prison, I don't know. You know, all these things are on... that's the shadow for that. It's quite a strange place. Alright, so I can't really remember this one too well. So I mean, placing a combine right there in the middle of a pretty empty room isn't really... isn't a good use of the combine soldier, basically. And I know you're limited with space, but there's enough space in this map for, or in like the space to really spread them out. So if you had this corridor, maybe you didn't have the top one, but if you put something in front of the combine soldiers, then it discourages the player from running straight towards them. I don't think we can jump over there. I think we've actually got to go around. Like, here's good if you hadn't have run forward. You've really got to keep... You've got to keep your combine soldiers back. You can't have them running towards the player. I think using like NPC clips and stuff like that can help. It does take time, but it's worth it. You see, he's just standing in the middle of the room, which isn't very interesting. He's a meter or so away. We're probably going to need this battery. Possibly. Yeah, I thought so. The fact that if you just see a battery just sitting there, chances are you're going to need it. Now, I feel that the player should have got to this part first, whatever it is. I don't even know what it is. It's a basket with a light, but the player should have got here first and then been made to go and get the battery, instead of finding the battery and then, you know, because I kind of worked out, you know, I've played a lot of these Half-Life 2 maps. I knew what you needed it for, but if there was yeah, you see the box or whatever it was first, and then you've got to go find the battery, it would be much more of a challenge. Right, I don't actually know what's going on. Alright. Okay. No. Wait, where were we before? Alright, so that's where we came from. So this is... okay, this is very, like, under-detailed. And it doesn't make it... Oh wow, is this one of these weird things that bends reality? Because I really like those. Is it? Yeah, it appears to be. That's quite cool. Again, I think it's slightly annoying that well, I don't actually know what even is supposed to be in this map. But hey, we'll carry on. It's... I don't know. Okay. Yeah, there's actually not very much. In fact, I don't even think I can get out of here. Yeah. I don't think the mapper thought this one through. Oh look, I just so happen to have made it out by magic. So are we supposed to like throw these grenades? Because that's, I think, what this box was. Oh no, no, we've got the rocket launcher. It's not very much fun. I mean, it's just such a weird setup. It's not very believable at all. And just with like an open room with just like a wall in the middle probably isn't enough cover to make the whole thing an enjoyable experience. But then, you know, I don't know what's going on. We'll keep going, right. Huh? I don't know what's happening. Is this showing us all the rooms? I have no idea. That map was weird. I mean, I'd say to the mapper, have a direction for your map, have an aim, make it really simple and try and make it make sense. Like, just look at a level from Half-Life 2 or Half-Life 2 Episode 2 and just try and make a miniature version of that. Obviously, it'd have to be miniature for this challenge, but for the future, try and imitate what the gameplay features are and even like the map environment. Now we're on Claustrophobia. Actually, I did play this one, yeah. Because it looked cool. You can hear someone crying behind the door. It's really difficult to see in this one. This one makes good use of the creepy sounds that are in Half-Life 2. A lot of which were Ravenholm. And Ravenholm was quite a good chapter if you want to do something scary. I mean, you're never going to do, or it's going to be very difficult for you to do horror in the sense of like, I don't know, let's pick something. I don't know, just think of any horror game like Slender or something like that. But... or Silent Hill for that matter. But horror is more about the environment in the context of, for instance, Half-Life 2. You know, you're in kind of a creepy environment, you can hear creepy sounds, but it's not as if it's building up for this kind of jump scare that you're waiting for. That's what a lot of people think horror is. People think horror maps should always have like this big jump scare at the end and everyone should you know, be screaming at it and all that gubbins, but no. There was an audio cue for this, for something happening, but I kind of missed it because I was rambling on. Part of me thinks that this is overly boarded up, it shouldn't be like this much to do that, but never mind. There's a ladder here which I missed the first time. So... I don't know what's going on with the lighting again, it's a bit strange. We've got to try and get up into that vent. Or is that where we came from, or did we drop down? I can't honestly remember. That's the thing, I literally can't remember what just happened. Alright, there we go. Again, this map's very environmental, and that's really the point in it. Is that it's supposed to be like scary. And as I said, horror maps, I'm just going to reiterate, horror maps aren't, you know, there's got to be a jump scare at the end. They've just got to create an environment of being creepy. But then, if you're going to do that, you've also got to add in decent gameplay as well. You know, you can't just have a horror map where you're just walking through a house and that's it. So that one did build up a good environment, but the gameplay, it was there, but it wasn't the best. Now we're on alternative route. Okay, this one I can't really remember, although I did play it. So we've got a good old find the battery. You know, we can see there that there's the batteries. If we go around here, we can see a battery. Now, I've said this before, I think it was in... I can't remember what ville it was, but just as a teaching mechanic, always have one battery in it already, so you can see it, or at least one battery right next to it, so when you pick up it goes in. Just as a kind of, again, a teaching thing, because people might not fully understand it. And it did it in, I think it was the coast section of Half-Life 2, if I can remember correctly. There was like this housing estate, or whatever you want to call it, that had a ton of batteries, and you had to open up the gate. The same thing was done there, and it was taught well, so... And then that opens up that. Obviously you can see the wire, I mean, at least to this thing, so it doesn't make it super clear, so if I'd come in here I wouldn't have been able to see it. Whoa. And then there's another battery down here, which is just in case you didn't find one, you could always find another one. And that's probably what it did in Half-Life 2 as well, when it did the same thing. Then it, I think, opens that. I think. Again, I should probably be checking all this, but we're going to push that button. It says 2 on it, and then we're going to go and have a look at this. Yeah, now this elevator, you've got to pile stuff up on it to make it go down. But we need the gravity gun to pick that up, so we can see the gravity gun's there, but we need to get to it to pick this thing up and make this thing go down. So it's actually quite a smart one. Now there's going to be a ton of zombies through this door. I'm surprised I remember this. It's, as I said a few maps ago, it feels like ages since I played this. And we've got to choose where to go. I can't remember where this one goes, but we're going to have a check of it anyway. Alright, and that takes down that. So I guess, do we go through here or can we go through the gate? Oh, we can go through the gate. Right, that's handy. And that takes down the force field. So now we can progress. Where did you guys come from? I mean, needlessly spawning in zombies, you don't have to have combat in every single scenario. I think in this scenario it would have been better if you'd just allowed the player to do this on their own. Ah, there's a lever as well. I forgot about the lever. It's a shame you can't pick the thing up, because then it just becomes annoying. I also saw razor blades there that you can pick up. We've had a good number of them, so it's good people are using them. And I like the fact there's a railway track here. It makes it feel like it's part of a long area, because obviously railway track goes on. And on and on and on, so... Yeah, I like that. Okay, I don't like the fact he just spawned there. I think that was very counterintuitive. I mean, you should never really have enemies just like spawning right next to you. Like that, again, it's counterintuitive. Wait, hold up. Do we have to throw a grenade in here? Or maybe we've got to throw it next to it. Okay, I guess we just have to hit it. Alright, there we go. That's how you get rid of these guys with only a grenade. So we're going to need these bricks. There's a lot of bricks flying about. That was my first thought when I saw them. So we're going to need them to do a physics puzzle. Which you can clearly see there's a rope tied to the door. You can have a look. The rope goes up to this thing. If you're climbing that thing, the thing goes down, opens up the door. And you can walk through. But obviously we can't climb in there and open the door and go through the door. So we need to use the bricks. Actually, we could probably just pick these up from here. And was there another one? Alright, I guess we got more bricks. It does encourage you to look about a bit. I guess if there's no more bricks, we're going to have to start using these things. There we go. So that was actually a map that contained a lot of good elements in it. It included a lot of fun gameplay elements, and it was set out so that the player always could see what they were trying to achieve, making it a very fun map. So I quite liked that one. And that was Alternative Route. Now we're on entry number 13, the hole. Okay, here we are. I don't really remember this one. But it's fairly easy to understand. You've got to get the door. You can just tear it right off like that. And there is a bit of combat. These fences are good because you can't just run straight up to them, but you can shoot through them and run and yeah, see through them. And then obviously the crowbars over here. And if we take on that guy, we get the crossbow, which is one of these weapons. I think I said it a few videos ago that you kind of give us kind of a bonus extra for those who look about. So I'm going to save that for when we actually need it, if we actually need it. Again, more boards across the door. You don't want too much of that, but it's certainly good to have there. Yeah, the good thing about this guy is we can just... Oh, he got me. I was trying to get up nice and close, but it didn't obviously work. Ah, yeah, here we go. So we can turn it off like so, because we can see the wire. The wire's very clear on the floor. We know what, we know basically what it does, so... Oh. Wow, I never saw this place. Right. Just break all these boxes. So it was good that there was a hidden area down there, or when I say hidden, I mean to me it was hidden, although it was fairly obvious. We got on this combine elevator again. It wasn't a funny shaped combine elevator, and all combine elevators have to be a funny shape. So yeah, that was the whole. It was very short, but it had a lot of good gameplay elements, I guess. The mapper might have been pushed for time. But that was the end of all the normal entries. Now we're on the free bonus entries. We've got Shafted, Pipes, and Rush Hour. I really like the setting to this. Obviously, it's like the mines setting at the start of episode 2, for instance, when you're with the fellows who have to, and you've got to fight the ant lions, you've got to use the turrets. So I really like that setting, and environmental wise this is amazingly done. And the gameplay's not bad either. I mean, I'll outline some of the good stuff and some of the not so great stuff. I'll just get all these guys. So immediately this really confused me. It's like, well, there's a ladder there, but I can't go up. And it only, occurred to me that you actually need to take the ladder. So it seems intuitive. And at least it doesn't tell you to, like, it doesn't put text on screen, which is great. And it does make the ladder super clear, but I would have put it closer, personally, like, had it, like, against that wall, and then had the flickering ladder here. Oh. Anyway, so I think that was all we had to look up here at the moment. We've now got to make our way down. Now, I don't fully understand this bit, because I climb down here. It looks like I can get over there. And then it drops me. It drops me like that. So, I'm not sure if there should be a way to get across there, but if you drop down here, you can drop down here. But then you're stuck, so I thought, well, this must be the way down, so I was trying to get out, I was all that. But as far as I am aware, you do actually need to go like that. It's quite difficult to pull off. And then there's quite a lot of zombies to fight. But it does give you this razor blade, which has been a feature of quite a lot of maps, and I'm actually super pleased with that now. I could shoot that if I had a gun, but I'm not doing that because I don't have a gun. So what we're going to do is, we're going to try and... Whoa. Destroy them all like that. So So through here we can see a generator, we can see a dead man, and a lock that we cannot open from this side, but this one's easy to get around to. You just have to be careful of the barnacles, and if the barnacles weren't here, it would be an easy run, but it makes you think, well, how am I going to get around the barnacles? I could give him that and then run, but then I've got this one, so I can give that one, but the wrong one took it, but that gives us a clear path through here. So, there's many ways of kind of planning the situation. And it just adds more gameplay. Wait, I forgot about that one. Anyway, we've got a shotgun. We can see that the generator's not powered. It's red. It means it's negative. That means you cannot. It's not doing its function or whatever. So we need to somehow find a way to get it working. Now this one isn't one that's done very often, but it is done. I've seen it done once or twice anyway. Get out of here. So here we see the handle, I guess you'd call it, for the generator, so we can just go straight over there. Oh, I forgot about this guy. Yeah, this guy just so happens to spawn magically. And we can easily clear him out, albeit we've lost all of our ammo. So then we turn it, and it powers up the elevator, so we can go right to the top. That's the goal of the map, which is, it's kind of clear. Alright, let's try not to fail that again. You've got to be very careful. Alright, so now we can get the elevator up and running. We've also got access to some turrets, similar to that other map we played. This one's a bit more focused, so you can basically see around all the map. It's quite open, but at the same time focused. It gives you all these tools to use, but they can just take down your turrets immediately, which is quite annoying. So I quite like to use these razor blades. They don't always work. Sometimes you're... I don't know. Sometimes the turrets get knocked down. And then it becomes a bit of a free-for-all, because I think there's too many zombies here. Like, too many, like, of each kind of zombie. So if it spaced them out a bit, it would be a lot more focused, but still a lot of fun. Okay, that had very little effect, but we can see the elevator is on its way. Okay, I'm just going to try and get a good run up to this elevator because it's open now. Oh. And we can climb in the elevator, and that is it. I think the last time I played I managed to get them all. And then something else happens. I think well, you'll see. But this is one of these maps that took this theme and used it very, very well, albeit it was a bonus map, but it still managed to use the theme as its basis. And the map itself is something that you may see in like a, Half-Life 2 game, so that's kind of like the template of what mappers should have been trying to achieve. That kind of map, and albeit it had everything in it. It had combat, it had kind of things to work out. It was really good. I really enjoyed that one. Next one is called Pipes. This one was just strange. It was just, that's what it was, pipes. And this is us, I remember we're in the vent. And then it should just break by itself. I don't know how actually it managed to do that. But if you know me, there's a few things I hate. One of them is jumping maps like these. I cannot stand them. And for instance, if you're not very good at jumping, then these maps can be quite a pain for you. Like a painful experience, i.e. just, no clip up to the top. This was the most recent one I played. I played this one this morning. Well, when I say this morning, it still is the morning, so it was like not that long ago, an hour ago. Actually, we've been recording for about an hour. Well, just before that. So you kind of got to do this, and this is where I kept dying, because this thing kept shutting on me. Because it kind of doesn't open. And then it opens then. And then it closes like that. You've you kind of got to get through it quickly, which I don't really like that much. It'd be better if it just opened, or opened for longer, or something like that. Okay, this one is quite difficult. I don't know what's going on there. I think it's just a skybox. An issue with the skybox. So that's all it is, it's just basically jumping. Jump. 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 And that's it, it just ends like that, which is a bit strange, but I don't know what to say about that. I'm not a fan of jumping. And then the last map's called Rush Hour, which I've never played.
Gordon, you okay down there?
Okay, so as I said, I've never played this. Oh wow, is this like an achievement? Oh, it is. So we can actually shoot Green's head. While fighting all these guys. Oh, there's one up there. I see one up there. And I was right here as well. Wait, was that not one? see, I like the fact I've just gone straight for this mini game. And like, I'm not actually caring about fighting. I mean, the fighting is just... well, that's all it really is. You're not really achieving very much. It's kind of more like an arena shooter like we've been having.
I don't know what you can possibly hope to achieve apart from your own annihilation.
Oh, did we actually... We got an upgraded grav gun just for achieving that achievement. That's actually pretty good. I guess for something like this, a mapping challenge like this, it's something that's actually quite nice to see. Oh my word. I don't know how many waves there are. Oh my word. There's, like, far too many. I thought that splinter would destroy him, but it didn't. Yeah, there's far too many enemies here. Even if we do have the overpowered grav gun. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, it's not giving you like very much time to stock up on health, but we'll keep going. Oh, they found me. There we go. Okay, that's that out. So is this still wave 2? Because if so, I really don't want to see what wave 3 is like. And you can run through the train as well. Is that it? Where? Oh, there he is. Okay, wave 3, here we go. I'm not sure about that one. It was cool how it got the... It had the Easter egg there where you shot all the statues, but otherwise it was enemy after enemy. Maybe it got harder because I got the upgraded gravity gun. I'm not sure. But that was the 1 billion units experimental mapping challenge. Thank you to all who entered. And goodbye.